Hello, it's Jeanette with Geomazing Paper Crafts. Thank you for joining me in my craft closet. Today I'd like to share with you how I make my mini notes and tote bags. This mini tote bag actually measures about 4 inches, 4 and 5/8 inch by about 3.5 inches approximately, and I made it with a handle, and it's a perfect size to hold these little mini note cards and envelopes, and even a little mini gel pen. Let me show you this, how cute these little cards are. Now these cards measure 2.25 inch by 1 7/8 inch. And they're made with designer series paper that matches the mini tote bag, and the envelopes are a custom size to fit these little mini note cards, and they measure 2 3/8 by 2 1/8, just right for the mini note cards. Look how cute they fit inside. And I made them also with a little self-adhesive seal, so that when you're done writing your note, you could just peel that off and attach it to a gift. Isn't that cute? Okay. Now I'm making several of these because I have an upcoming family reunion, and I think these are going to make some really good raffle prizes for that event. So I really need to say that I'm not going to take the full credit for this construction of this bag. The instructions for a similar bag, but a larger bag, was posted on Paper Craft Buttons YouTube channel. She used a whole sheet of 12 by 12 inch cardstock for her bag, and she demonstrated it using both the gift box punch board and the envelope punch board. It is super cool the way this bag comes together. I just made a few changes to it, not just the size, but I also made it smaller, but I also made it with the handle too. So let's get started. I'm going to be using the envelope punch board for this project. So we start out with a piece of designer series paper that measures 8 by 8 inches square. Now you're also going to need two little pieces of paper that measure 1.5 inch square. Now the reason you need these two small squares is to reinforce the handle. If you notice, this is actually a double piece of paper right here. Okay, but before we start punching and scoring, we're going to need to adhere these two pieces of squares to opposite corners. One right here and one right here. And I am going to be using snail adhesive for that. So I think I'll put the snail on here just a little bit and just match it up perfectly, as perfect as you can on the corners. Okay. Now notice I'm doing it with the side of the design the same as the front. Okay. Just a little bit of adhesive, it'll be fine. Okay. Now let's get out our envelope punch board. Okay. So line up your paper at 1 3/4 inch, and you're going to punch, and you're going to score. Let's see, I think I'm going to score with my stylus. Now you want to score to the end, but be careful not to, because it's a little bit further. Try not to rip your paper as you go down. Just score till you can't score anymore. And then you're going to turn, and you're going to do the same for all 4 sides. You're going to punch, and you're going to score at that 1 3/4 inch mark. The envelope punch board does give you a scoring tool, but I preferred using the stylus. Okay. Now, turn your paper over and do the same thing on the other side, but not scoring. Just punch at the 1 3/4 and turn and do the same on all 4 sides. Okay. Now you have to flip your paper back over, and then you're going to line up the corners next to the score line. But what you need to do is you can only score on the ones that are not reinforced. So you'll line this up right here on this score line, you see, right there on the edge, and then score. Okay, and then turn it to the opposite side and then score. Now the reason why you don't want to score these other two is because you want that handle to stand up. You don't want it to be folding. So that's why I don't score that one. Okay. With the opposite sides of the punch, you'll then round the corners, but only on the side where you did reinforce. So if you can see this, let me move this, make sure that it's in camera. Okay. Mine doesn't want to line up. Why is that? Okay. How about if we do something else? Let's go with our corner rounder because I'm having difficulty. And it'll be okay, even if I do it with the corner rounder. Okay. I use that more often than this punch right here. Okay. Now, you're going to fold and burnish all your score lines. Okay. Let's see. Let's get rid of some of this scrap here. You're going to use your bone folder, okay? And fold and burnish. All right. Okay, now you're going to need to form a box by folding and burnishing the sides, okay, toward the middle of the inside of the box. So you're going to need to match up your score lines and burnish on all four sides. So you matched it up like that, okay. Now on the inside, you see how that, I don't know if you can see that, but on the inside, once you have it all matched up, then you're going to be burnishing these things inward. Okay, that's one. Did I do that right? Yep. Okay, now do it again on this one here. You're going to do it on all four of the sides. Okay. Burnish it really good. Okay, open it up and then fold that in like that. And then burnish on the side, and one more. I will try to fast forward this video if I can. Okay, now what you need to do is, before you put your adhesive, is to determine where you're going to put your adhesive. So I want this to fold in with the two flaps on the side where I reinforced. So this box is going to come together like this. Okay? Alright, so what I need to do is I need to put adhesive on the score lines here, on like this little V here. Now, what I'm going to be using for adhesive is something similar to what Stampin'Up is going to be selling very shortly. It's called, it's going to be called Tear and Tape. And it's great because you can just tear a piece off and then tape it. And then you tear too much, then just tear off a piece. You can also cut it, but I love this stuff because it makes things go really quick and easy. Now you're going to put this tape as close to that score line as possible, and I try to put it on the score line that's next to the tabs. Okay, so bear with me while I do this. I'm just going to go ahead and cut. Okay, and one more on this side. Okay, now we're going to flip it over, and like I said, we're going to be needing to put just a little bit of adhesive on one of these flaps to hold it closed. So I choose this flap right here. Pardon my phone. Okay. I'll cut off the excess here. And, okay, since we're doing it like that, and that, and that, okay, then let me figure this out. Then it's going to be on this flap right here. Okay, I had to do that so I wouldn't mess myself up. Okay. Close to the score line as possible, and then cut. Okay, now I'm going to get out my craft sheet because I don't want this sticking to my my grid paper. So I'm going to take my paper piercing tool and just remove all of the adhesive. Okay. Something got stuck. That's okay, it's not going to be seen. Okay. All right. Now what you're going to do is match up the sides like this. Okay. Match up the side like that. Okay. And since they're going to be folded on the side that you've reinforced, fold the one down, and the one that has the adhesive right here, then you're going to fold that down over it. Okay, so it stays down. And you do the same thing on the other side. And it's going to look like I'm struggling with this, but just bear with me. Okay. And now this goes. I gotta move this flap down so it'll burnish down this way. Okay, there's your box. Now you're going to need to fold these flaps that you didn't round the corners on. You need to fold them inward. So I'm going to just put a little bit of snail adhesive on these so that they'll fold. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to take the bone folder, and I'm going to do what I call this little rock and roll thing so that I can, on this side, just because I don't want this side to crease and I don't want it to fold. I just want it to just kind of curve. See, like that? Okay. And if you burnish it really good and just do this little rock and roll thing, it's going to burnish and it will not crease. It will just curl like that. Okay. So now it's time to punch the hole for your handles. You can just punch a 3/4 inch hole and leave it like that, or you might want to try punching it with a 7/8 inch scallop punch. Okay. Now what you need to do is you need to get yourself a little template for this scallop punch, and let's see, I got a template right here, so that you can position where you want the punch to be, and just add a little bit of snail adhesive to it. Position it on one of the handles, and I think I want it about right there, and this is so that you know where to punch. Let me get this in here. Line it up really good, and then I got it lined up, and then punch. Okay, I got one handle here. Now I'm going to take it apart and make sure that it has a little bit of adhesive still on it. I'll put a little bit more. Okay, now you're going to need to match up your handles. Now it's going to be a little difficult, so what I like to do is I like to hold them closed with a couple of little clothespins like that, making sure that the handles are matched up perfectly, and then I put the template on the inside of the hole I just punched, and then poke it right through to the other handle, and now I've got my positioning for the handle so that I can make the punch where I need it to be. Okay, and I am going to line that up the best I can and punch. Okay. See? Now, if you want to, you can decorate it with a similar color. I think what I will do is go with this Melon Mambo color and punch out just a little ring with my 1-inch circle punch. And to do that, what you need to do is just take a piece of Melon Mambo cardstock and punch out the 7/8 inch punch, like that, okay? And then take your circle punch and then cut and try to center it the best you can. So now you've got your little ring. Now you're going to need 4 of them for the inside, for the back and front of each of the handles, and I've got 4 of them here. And what I do is just add a little snail using my craft mat so that the glue doesn't stick, and then just line this up like this best you can so that your scallops all match. And then do the same on all 4 sides. Okay. Line it up. This might take just a little bit of time, sorry about that, but we want it to look nice and pretty. Okay, back side, lining it up. Okay, one more. Okay, now the front side. And after this, your box is pretty much done, and you can go ahead and decorate it any way you want to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some trim. This is some sticker trim that I found. Oh, I don't know, I've had it in my box forever, and I thought it would look nice because it's got these little sparkly glittery things on it. And I'm just going to run this along the top edge of the box because it's so pink. And okay, then I'm going to run some on the bottom edge of the box too. And it just gives it a little bit of shine. Now you can do this with lace, or you can also do it with washi tape. Anything you want. It's your box. You design it the way you like. Okay. All right. And then I'm just going to put my little floral element on here. I think I'll use a dimensional glue dot for that, or maybe a mini glue dot. Let's see. No, we'll put a dimensional. I'm going to put my little floral design. Well, I guess if I took off the backer paper of the... Okay. And there you have it. There's your little mini bag. Okay, now the cards are very, very simple to do, and the envelope too. What you need is for the card, you're going to need, see, that would be a piece of paper that measures 3 3/4 inch by 2 1/4 inch, and then you're going to fold it in half, okay? And with your corner rounder, just round the corners if you want them rounded. You don't have to round them. I just think they look really cute when they're rounded. And then for the inside, you're going to take a piece of paper that measures 1 3/4 by 2 1/8, and then round the corners for that too. Let's see, backwards for forwards. Okay, here we go. Rounding corners, and then just take a little bit of snail adhesive, and come on. And then line it up here and tape it like that. Okay? Okay. So now you've got your card. Now I've already got the other cards made here. The other 4 cards made. Okay. The reason I do 4 is because when I make the envelopes, I can get 4 out of 1 sheet of copy paper. Okay, so the envelope is made with a 4 by 4 inch square, and we're going to bring back the envelope punch board. Okay, and the envelope of the first score you're going to make on the envelope punch board is at 2 1/8. You're going to punch, and you are going to score. If I could find my tool. Okay, well, let's use the real tool because you can't find the other one. Okay, and then turn it to the 1 7/8, and it should line up with that score line, this little tab here on the envelope punch board. Punch and score. Okay, turn it back to 2 1/8, punch and score, and turn it back to 1 7/8 and punch and score. Okay, and to make things quick, I'm just going to go ahead and round these with my little corner rounder, because for some reason my little envelope punch board does not like punching out regular paper on that side. Okay, so let's fold and burnish our score lines quickly. Okay. Now you're going to add just a little bit of adhesive to, let me burnish that down better, a little bit of snail adhesive here. I can be a little bit neater about folding. And fold this up, okay? And then you're going to fold this one in. Okay. Now, what I have done is I've made these little what are they called? They're called self-adhesive seals. Now, to do that, what you need to do is to get some double-faced sheets, adhesive sheets, and put your DSP on it. And then what I did was I just punched out a 7/8 inch, sorry about that, 7/8 inch, okay, circle. And then I just took my pick, my paper piercing tool, and then I folded it back like that and took the envelope and I just placed it right here on the envelope, okay, and then I folded it back so that when they get ready, the seal is already there. Okay, so now I have I think I've got all my envelopes somewhere. Here they are. Okay, I've got, oops, wrong color. I'm making them in several different colors. Okay, so what you want to do after you make all of your envelopes, if I can find that last one, you'll have 4 of them, and I did make 4 of them. I just can't find them right now. Okay, let's just borrow this one. You're going to take some lace, or however you want to tie this together. I'm just going to use a little bit of this lace right here, and I'm going to tie it. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on one side. I'll cut it to size. Okay. I'll put some snail adhesive. Where's my craft? Okay. I'll put a little bit of snail adhesive on this. Okay. And take this like that. Okay. Hold it like that. Okay. And then, if I could find my little decorative element here, I think I'll use a little mini glue dot for this. I hide the seam like that. Okay, so bring back my little bag, and I've got this